but I'm going to the casino to have a steak.
You had the right phone with you this time, right, for the date.
Yeah, I got everything well organized here. What are you gentlemen doing this evening?
We don't have dates even to try to stand up.
Well, I got to schedule 3 dates to get 1 date. I told my manager she called me a whore.
Dating. I never did much of that.
So, is the now truly all important?
That's all you got.
The now?
The now. You know, like be here now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some people are very into it. Some people are very into it. I recognize the importance of it. But, you know, I recognize the importance of it because you can get very hung up on the past. And you can get hung up on the future, too. You know, all the interviews that I see with George Harrison, especially after the Beatles broke up, a lot of it had to do with this thing, like, you know, don't think about yesterday, because yesterday's gone. Don't think about tomorrow. Just be here now. Just think about the present.
Yeah.
You know, you have to wonder, like, Paul and George, can you think of two more different people, came from the same town, had the same experience? If anything, you'd think that Paul would be the one who'd be more cynical or depressed because his mother died when he was 14. George came from a happy family that, you know, they were together, transferred together, etc. But what is it? Why is George so dour and Paul so happy-go-lucky?
I think it was the Maharishi and all that stuff back then. You know, that connection.
But what? That mean?
I think their character was already formed by the time they got to the Maharishi.
Yeah, me too. What is it? Just, I guess McCartney just had the right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's what kind of mother, there's all this stuff that goes into it.
Right.
You'd have to study it and figure it out.
Yeah.
And, you know, he wasn't the sweetest guy in the world when he was having to be a perfectionist about his music. Paul was pretty driven.
Yeah, but if he hadn't been like that, we wouldn't be talking about the Beatles.
That's right.
Yes, he was a taskmaster.
That's right.
But
it's what his genius required.
Yeah,
And now at over 80, he's out playing like on weekends and having a good time. It's amazing to see, like in New York and Long Island.
Oh yeah, no, it's like
that he is.
When he played for that big 50th anniversary, by the time he was singing at the end of that show, he'd been singing all week. He had lost his voice. He'd been going to parties and singing.
His voice is getting a little ragged.
Yeah.
But I mean, until like the last 2 years, his voice was in amazing shape.
But I'm just saying that night is not a fair test of where his voice is, because he really had been working it for a while. Because there have been so many parties and he had concerts and things he'd been doing, you know, previous to that.
Right.
He'd been working it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Billy, you live in Santa Cruz area. Who is like the biggest local musician?
I'm completely unaware of the biggest local musician. You know, we are very, you know, down here we're like Americana. You know, like roots music kind of stuff.
Oh, right. So who's the biggest one at that?
I have no idea. I can't come up with anything right away.
Took
We
life
had
as it
somebody who
came
won,
gladly.
American Idol
Death
once or
as it
something.
came without
Can't say what his
care.
name is.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Took words which I have used
Well,
elsewhere.
Neil Young is from there.
Neil Young used to play here at times, you know, just under other names and things he would show up. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of Daryl Hannah?
Well, who doesn't like a tall blonde?
Right, exactly.
It's
you
too
know-
bad that he had to leave his wife over her and stuff like that. That was
Right,
a long
and
marriage.
that's what broke up Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Because she had a history. Here, let me plug in my phone before it died. She had a history with Jackson Brown. And she fucked with Jackson
Supposedly,
Brown.
he was abused her a little bit, right?
That's the story I heard, that he was an abuser. Yeah.
Yeah. He's plugging his phone in, I think.
Meanwhile, Bobby D's still on the
Hand
road,
salesman and a capable
giving out incredible shows. I can't.
Are they incredible shows? I mean, he is on the road, but
Well, I'm seeing clips and songs and
yeah. Oh, great.
look on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it pops all over.
I'll look on YouTube. That's what I'm like.
It's but it's quite fun to like follow him almost every night wherever he's
Oh,
playing.
great. Because he's could be spotty.
That's okay. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
right? Because it's just amazing just to see him want to be out there and doing this.
Well, he is exactly what he is, and that is he's a musician.
Yes, and God, it's just amazing, honestly. How much longer? I hope he goes another
As
10
long as
years,
he can,
man.
he'll do it till he'll do it as long
Yeah.
as he can. Yeah.
Hope he goes another 10 years, man.
I mean, it's either that or sit at home making art.
Which is quite incredible as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a pretty amazing guy. I love the movie.
Oh, I didn't see it yet. I'm afraid to watch it.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a movie. It's not history. It's a movie.
Okay.
It'll be fun. The kid does a good job.
So you enjoyed it?
Absolutely.
All right,
I found
cool.
it moving and fun, and yeah.
I'll seek it out.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys were talking about 80 degrees today somewhere where you were. It snowed here in Albuquerque all day.
No kidding. Snow in the desert. Why not?
Yeah.
That's where you live now.
Yeah, I was in Santa Fe
Yeah.
I was in Santa Fe and then moved down to Albuquerque about 2 years ago. So, yeah. But
How's
LA, we were in LA when LA was great. You're in Santa
Yeah.
Cruz. You're in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
I know a couple people there.
Yes, our time in LA was a good time to be in LA.
Oh hell yeah, man.
This was interesting. Well, drugs were good. Yeah.
You're hitting a bong.
Sorry, my phone died. But basically, when Crosby found out that Neil was with Daryl Hannah, David Crosby said, "Oh, she's a viper. She's a snake. She'll suck everything out of you."
Yeah.
And Neil Young said, "Yeah, that's my wife. So,
Don't talk
that's my
about
girlfriend / wife." And so he never played with Crosby again. But Crosby did this shit to Graham Nash, and that Graham Nash was his real buddy for like the last 50 years. But Graham Nash, or for 40 years, Graham Nash left his wife for a much younger woman. So Crosby thought he could lecture Graham or Hector Graham into going back to his wife, and Graham was like,
geez.
"Fuck that."
Yeah. Come on. It's a much younger woman. The dream of every older rich man.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Mick Jagger.
Basically, look, you can't. It's one of the rules of thumb that all guys have to learn. Is that you can't, if you don't get along, if a friend has a girlfriend that you don't get along with,
Shut the fuck up.
up.
we
You
said,
can't.
we
you
said
never
simultaneously.
Boy,
Go ahead, what?
we put up with some real shit, haven't we? When we've done that, when we shut
Yeah.
the fuck up. I mean,
Yeah.
just by I know, But boy, it's a mess.
Never force a guy to choose between the woman he's fucking and a friend, because he'll always pick the woman he's fucking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Frankly, guys will pick their girlfriends/wives over their own siblings and their parents.
Of course.
So they're certainly going to pick them over a friend.
And you can't tell anybody. You can't tell people. You just have to let them.
He has experience of fullness
Yeah,
and
you have to
emptiness.
suffer
He
through
does
it.
not
Right.
rejoice in
You know, there's
success or
a woman named Mel Robbins, very popular in the podcast crowd
Right.
now. Let them is her big philosophy. It's called let them.
Let them. Right.
Let them. Yeah. You can't change it.
I agree.
Yeah, but what if they come and ask you? So, you know.
Well, if they ask you,
Yeah.
you tell them
Yes.
in a charming way.